Did you ever imagine that a humble 1-cent coin from 1978, stamped with the small D mint mark of the Denver Mint, could turn out to be worth as much as $289 in today's collector markets? It sounds unbelievable, but that's the magic and mystery surrounding numismatics, where hidden gems lie in everyday pocket change, just waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a bit of historical knowledge. So welcome back to our channel where we dig deep into the forgotten treasures of American currency. And today we're unraveling the incredible story of the 1978 D Lincoln cent, a copper-plated zinc marvel that has intrigued collectors for decades and recently made headlines for fetching astonishing amounts at auctions and private sales. And while it may look like just another coin to the average person, beneath its coppery surface lies a fascinating world of errors, mintage quirks, and historical relevance that makes it one of the most talked about pennies in recent coin collecting circles. So let's begin with what makes this coin so special and why some versions of it have been valued at up to $289 or even more depending on condition and uniqueness, starting with the historical backdrop of 1978, a year filled with political shifts, economic transitions, and a booming coin minting industry that saw the U.S. Mint producing billions of coins across its facilities, and among those, the Denver Mint struck over 4.28 billion 1-cent coins that year. But what separated the ordinary from the extraordinary were the minor variations, errors, and minting anomalies that have now transformed certain specimens into highly desirable collector's pieces. For instance, some of these 1978 D pennies feature doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's profile, while others are known to have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, or even unusual coloration caused by metal inconsistencies or exposure to particular environmental conditions over decades. And collectors love anomalies because they often point to rare minting accidents that only affect a small number of coins, creating scarcity and increasing value. But not all high-value 1978 D pennies have visible errors. Sometimes the magic lies in pristine preservation, as coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are exceedingly rare for this year, due to the sheer volume of coins circulated and the typically rough handling they endured, making a flawless example akin to finding a needle in a haystack. And it's these near-perfect specimens that can command hundreds of dollars at auction, with one well-documented sale seeing a 1978 D penny go for $289 due to its brilliant uncirculated condition and perfect strike. But the journey of discovering such a coin is part of the allure, encouraging people to sift through jars, drawers, and rolls of pennies in search of that hidden gem. And let's not forget the cultural and historical weight carried by the Lincoln cent itself, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and remaining a symbol of American history, leadership, and endurance ever since. And by 1978, the Lincoln Memorial reverse had become iconic, reflecting not just an architectural monument but a metaphor for unity and resilience during turbulent times. And this symbolic weight only adds to the appeal of any Lincoln cent, particularly those minted in years like 1978 when the economy was shifting, inflation was climbing, and coin compositions were beginning to subtly change in preparation for the big copper-to-zinc transition that would take place just a few years later in 1982. And it's in this context that each 1978 D penny becomes a historical artifact, a tiny capsule of an era long past. And whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious newcomer to coin collecting, understanding what elevates this particular coin above the rest is essential to appreciating its value. So let's look deeper into the types of errors that can catapult a simple penny into the financial stratosphere, starting with the famous double die variety, which occurs when a die imprints the design on a planchet more than once in a misaligned fashion, leading to noticeable doubling in features like the motto, "In God We Trust," the word "Liberty," or the date, 1978, itself. And although no official double die for the 1978 D penny has been catalogued as a major variety, collectors have reported strong machine doubling and minor anomalies that still intrigue experts, while off-center strikes, where the design is stamped too far in one direction, can result in partial or missing inscriptions. And depending on how dramatic the off-center error is and how well the date and mint mark are still visible, such coins can be worth $50 to over $300. And another popular error is the clip planchet, where a portion of the coin is literally missing because the blank metal sheet from which it was cut didn't feed correctly into the punch, creating a crescent-shaped gap that adds uniqueness and collectability, especially when paired with a clear date and mint mark. And die cracks, which are raised lines caused by a fractured die, can add character and value, especially when they run through prominent parts of the coin like Lincoln's face or the memorial building on the reverse, and even environmental toning, where natural exposure over decades causes vivid blues, purples, or rainbow-like effects on the surface, can turn a mundane cent into a visual masterpiece that collectors love. And then there's the niche market for coins with BIE errors, a specific kind of die break that forms a vertical bar between the B and E of Liberty, which is not only collectible but often sought after as part of a themed collection by dedicated enthusiasts. And the story doesn't stop there, as the growing interest in coin collecting, fueled by social media, YouTube influencers, and online marketplaces like eBay and heritage auctions, has propelled coins like the 1978 D penny into the spotlight, with videos and articles frequently highlighting its unexpected value and urging viewers to check your change. And as more people discover the joy of numismatics, the demand for rare and interesting coins continues to rise, creating a thriving secondary market where even a lowly penny can become a prized possession. And for those wondering how to tell if their 1978 D penny is valuable, the first step is to check its condition. Does it look uncirculated, with sharp details and no scratches or dings? And if so, it might be worth submitting to a professional grading service. And second, use a magnifier to inspect for any anomalies like doubling, off-center features, or surface cracks. And lastly, compare your coin to known varieties listed in numismatic catalogs or online databases, and remember that even minor differences can matter greatly in the world of coin collecting. So while the average 1978 D penny is still worth only 1 cent, it's the outliers, the errors, the flawless specimens, the unique anomalies, that command the big bucks and capture the imagination of collectors around the world. And as coin hunting continues to grow in popularity, more people are realizing that their pocket change might be holding secrets worth hundreds of dollars. So before you toss that old penny aside, take a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. And who knows, the next time you come across a 1978 D Lincoln cent, it might just be one of those legendary pieces that turns a single cent into a small fortune, proving once again that history, art, rarity, and a bit of luck can combine to make even the most ordinary item extraordinarily valuable. So thank you for watching and diving into this deep exploration of the 1978 D penny with us. And if you enjoyed learning about rare coins, their hidden secrets, and how they can turn up in the most unexpected places, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another exciting episode about the world's most fascinating coins. Next. Have you ever held a coin so ordinary yet so mysteriously valuable that it could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now, completely unnoticed, until one day you discover that it's worth far more than anyone could have imagined? Welcome to the incredible story of the 2014 DUSA 1 cent coin, a modern-day Lincoln cent with a face value of just 1 cent yet capable of selling for as much as $102 due to surprising reasons hiding in plain sight. And today we're diving deep into the world of this fascinating penny that's causing a stir in the numismatic community. So sit back as we unpack everything you need to know about the hidden value, minting secrets, and collector-driven hype surrounding the 2014 D penny, because it's not just a copper-plated zinc coin, it's a symbol of how even something minted in the billions can transform into a historical artifact, a valuable asset, and a sought-after treasure all in one. And for those joining us for the first time, welcome to the channel where rare coins and hidden fortunes are uncovered through detailed storytelling and numismatic knowledge. And for returning viewers, you already know we're about to take a deep dive that most people never even think of when looking at loose change. So let's begin with the basics. The 2014 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities producing U.S. coinage. And it's one of the billions of pennies released in that year alone, with over 4.15 billion 2014 D cents entering circulation, which makes it sound incredibly common and therefore insignificant. But as we've learned time and again in coin collecting, it's not the quantity that determines value, it's the quality, the rarity of condition, the uniqueness of errors, and the cultural intrigue attached to that specific issue. And with the 2014 D penny, a number of rare varieties, minting mistakes, and high-grade condition examples have led collectors to prize certain specimens well beyond their face value, and in particular, coins that have been graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can fetch top-dollar premiums, as these coins exhibit pristine surfaces, sharp strikes, and luster rarely seen among circulating examples. And when such a common date yields so few top-tier examples, the value for those few skyrockets, often fetching more than $100 each, including verified sales of MS67 RD, red, graded 2014 D cents at auction for $102 or more, and the journey doesn't stop. At grade alone, because 2014 was a year known for some significant and subtle minting errors that are just now being fully recognized by the collecting community, and among these are double die obverse errors, where inscriptions such as "Liberty, in God We Trust," or the date itself show subtle but visible doubling under magnification, making the coin stand out for collectors who know what to look for. And while major double dies are well known on older coins, modern ones like the 2014 D can be underreported and thus more valuable when authenticated. And then there are the infamous die chips, breaks, and cuds, tiny raised areas on the coin caused by damage or wear on the minting die that result in extra metal forming where it shouldn't be, often seen in Lincoln's eye, beard, or the area near the memorial or shield, depending on the design. And these die varieties create unique one-of-a-kind coins that some collectors will pay a premium for to complete error-specific collections. And you'll also find 2014 D pennies with off-center strikes, ranging from minor misalignments to dramatic errors where half of the design is missing, which can command $50 to $200 depending on how well the date and mint mark are still visible. And then there are planchet errors, where the metal blank itself was flawed before minting, leading to coins that might be underweight, have lamination issues, or show strange discoloration, all of which add intrigue and value when authenticated properly. And even more fascinating is the emergence of transitional errors, where a 2014 D penny might have been struck using a planchet intended for a different coin or with a reverse die from another year, creating mismatched or hybrid coins that are incredibly rare and valuable, though such coins require careful inspection by professionals. And while most people casually spend pennies without a second thought, the reality is that even recent years like 2014 have hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. And one reason for the growing interest in this coin is its place in a larger numismatic trend, modern coin collecting, where newer coins once overlooked are gaining popularity due to accessibility, lower entry costs, and the potential for unrecognized errors to be found by everyday people using nothing more than a magnifier and some curiosity. And as social media influencers and YouTube coin hunters spotlight modern rarities, the 2014 D has emerged as one of the coins to watch. Especially in MS67 condition or higher, or when exhibiting known or even new error types, and collectors often seek out full roll searches, combing through boxes of 2014 D pennies from banks or inherited collections, in hopes of finding a mint state or error variety that could turn their hunt into a $100 payday. And as more examples surface and get authenticated, price records continue to be broken, auction results rise, and the coin's mystique deepens among coin enthusiasts, with entire communities discussing its attributes on forums, Facebook groups, and coin websites, exchanging images, grading reports, and speculative theories about which errors are still waiting to be discovered. And what's particularly fascinating about the 2014 D is its modernness, how a coin so recent, often dismissed as too new to be valuable, is already making headlines for achieving values over 10,000% its original worth, and that should give pause to everyone who handles change, because what seems ordinary today may be a fortune tomorrow, especially when the numismatic market identifies long-term significance in minting issues, mintage figures, or condition rarity. And while earlier Lincoln cents are heavily studied and categorized, modern ones like this are just beginning to see the same level of research and demand, making it a perfect time to get involved, start collecting, and maybe even discover the next record-setting specimen yourself. So how do you know if your 2014 D penny is worth money? Start by examining its condition. If it looks like it was just minted yesterday, no scratches, dullness, or discoloration, it may be MS quality and worth submitting for grading. Next, grab a jeweler's loupe or microscope and inspect for doubling, die chips, or striking errors, especially on the date, lettering, and Lincoln's portrait. And finally, weigh the coin on a precise scale to rule out off-metal planchets, and if you're serious, compare it with known examples from auction archives and certified listings online, where even the smallest detail can separate a 1-cent coin from a $102 rarity. And with more people collecting and studying modern pennies than ever before, the 2014 D is poised to become a benchmark in the evolution of modern coin valuation. And in the years to come, as fewer high-grade examples remain in circulation and more collectors pursue this specific issue, we can expect its value to continue rising, making now the perfect time to hunt through your pocket change, old coin jars, or even bank rolls for this potential treasure, because while a penny saved is a penny earned, a rare penny found can be a small fortune unlocked. And with knowledge, patience, and a little luck, you could be the next person to turn an overlooked coin into a remarkable payday. So don't overlook the 2014 D penny. It's not just change, it's change with a story, and that story is still being written every time someone finds one worth far more than anyone thought possible. So thank you for joining us today on this deep dive into one of the most surprising coins of the last decade. And if you enjoyed this exploration of how a 2014 D 1-cent coin can become a $102 collector's dream, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the hidden stories and big money secrets behind America's most fascinating coins. Last. What if the penny you just dropped on the sidewalk or the one lying forgotten at the bottom of your drawer was actually worth $114 and could be one of the most unexpected treasures hiding in plain sight? Yes, we're talking about the 2004 USA 1-cent coin. An ordinary-looking piece of copper-plated zinc that has recently grabbed attention in numismatic circles for being worth far more than its face value, and today, we're diving headfirst into the shocking world of the 2004 Lincoln cent. Exploring why certain specimens of this seemingly common coin are commanding prices as high as $114 in collector markets, revealing the rare errors, pristine conditions, minting quirks, and the deep history behind this underrated gem. So welcome to another incredible episode on our channel where we uncover the hidden wealth in your pocket change. And whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, this story is bound to make you rethink every penny you encounter, because the 2004 1-cent coin is a perfect example of how modern coins are starting to shine under the numismatic spotlight in ways never imagined before. So let's first go back to 2004, a year that might not seem very distant but holds its own importance in the evolution of the Lincoln cent, as it was a time when the U.S. Mint was still producing billions of pennies annually, specifically over 3.9 billion for that year. And while most of these were circulated into the economy without incident, a small number of them, due to factors ranging from production errors to exceptional mint state quality, have gone on to become extremely desirable for collectors, and the reason is rooted in a variety of factors, starting with mint errors that often escape the quality control process, such as double die obverse errors where inscriptions like "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date, 2004, appear visibly doubled when viewed under magnification, and while some people confuse this with machine doubling, genuine doubled dies are far more valuable, as they result from a misalignment during the actual die creation process, making them part of the coin's design rather than just a superficial blemish. And then there are off-center strikes, which can range from minor misalignment to dramatic versions where almost half of Lincoln's profile or the reverse shield is missing or displaced. And these off-center coins are especially desirable when the date and mint mark are still visible, pushing their value well above the $50 mark, and in rarer cases close to or exceeding the $114 threshold, especially when in high grade. And another category boosting the 2004 penny's desirability is planchet errors, which can include clipped planchets where part of the coin was never struck because the blank metal disc was improperly cut, resulting in a noticeable curved missing section which, when authenticated, can fetch significant sums. And then we move to die cracks and cuds, which are caused by stress and fatigue on the dies used to strike the coins, resulting in raised, irregular lines or blobs of extra metal, especially on the rim or fields of the coin. And while such errors might seem like flaws to the untrained eye, collectors love them because they represent the unpredictable nature of minting and make each coin uniquely valuable. And in the 2004 1-cent, many collectors have documented noticeable die cracks along Lincoln's jawline or on the reverse near the memorial steps, adding yet another layer of value to these everyday coins. But one of the most exciting aspects of the 2004 penny story is how its value also comes from being in exceptional condition, as coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are extremely rare due to the heavy circulation pennies typically endure, and finding one in such high grade is often like finding a needle in a haystack. And when they do surface, especially with full red color, RD designation, they easily reach prices well beyond $100, with one such specimen known to sell at a collector's auction for $114 because of its flawless surfaces, crisp strike, and bright copper luster. And these high-grade examples are incredibly sought after by registry set collectors, who try to build the best possible collection of every coin in a particular series, often bidding aggressively to secure top examples of even modern issues like the 2004 cent. And now let's talk about BIE errors, which are a particular type of die break that causes a vertical bar to appear between the letters B and E in Liberty, making it appear as though there's an extra I. And while this error has occurred on various years of Lincoln cents, some 2004 examples have shown minor die breaks in that same area, leading some collectors to hunt specifically for that variety. And what's more fascinating is the emergence of coins with transitional elements or mixed die issues, where components from another year or series are accidentally used, producing coins that blend features in a way that was never intended and are thus extremely rare and desirable. And although no widely accepted transitional error is confirmed yet for the 2004 cent, some anomalies found in pocket change have raised eyebrows in the collecting world, suggesting that further discoveries could drastically raise the value ceiling for this year. And this brings us to the larger question: why is a modern coin like the 2004 cent gaining this much attention in recent years? And the answer lies in the broader trend of modern coin collecting gaining steam as older coins become less accessible and the newer ones begin showing surprising variations that reward attentive collectors. And with tools like high-powered magnifiers, digital microscopes, and access to online databases, more people than ever are diving into their spare change, coin rolls, and family stashes to uncover hidden value. And the 2004 penny has become one of the poster children for this modern collecting movement, offering both seasoned collectors and beginners an affordable entry point into the world of rare coins with the potential for high returns. And as more people discover the value hidden in coins from the 2000s, the demand for authenticated, high-grade, or era 2004 cents will only continue to rise. And considering that so few of the billions minted remain in mint state condition or exhibit meaningful errors, those that do are becoming rarer by the day. And with rarity comes value, and with value comes the rush of collectors seeking to add a 2004 gem to their folders or grading submissions. And let's not forget the historical and symbolic significance of the Lincoln cent itself, a coin that has carried the image of one of America's greatest presidents since 1909, making every single Lincoln penny a tiny tribute to legacy and leadership. And in 2004, during a time of political change, digital growth, and cultural shifts, the Lincoln cent quietly continued to circulate across the country, unnoticed yet bearing the craftsmanship, material, and historical continuity that makes coinage so much more than mere currency. And now, years later, we're uncovering just how special this particular year's issue can be, with more and more stories surfacing of collectors and even casual coin enthusiasts finding a 2004 penny that turns out to be worth $50, $80, or even the astonishing $114, all depending on its condition, errors, and unique features. And if this doesn't inspire you to start checking your own coins, consider this: right now there could be a rare 2004 penny sitting on your desk, in your car cup holder, or stashed in a forgotten jar in your kitchen, and you won't know its worth until you take a closer look, which is exactly what makes this hobby so thrilling and rewarding, because every coin holds a story, and some stories pay handsomely. So next time you see a 2004 penny, don't just walk past it, flip it over, inspect it, and see if it could be one of those rare finds worth more than $100. And if you're serious about exploring this further, you might want to start learning about grading standards, error identification, and how to properly store and protect valuable coins to preserve their condition and future value. And the more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to spot the difference between an ordinary cent and one that could become a small fortune. So keep hunting, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a penny, especially one from 2004 that carries with it the chance to change your perspective, and maybe your wallet, forever. And thank you for watching this deep dive into the 2004 USA 1 cent coin and its surprising $114 valuation that's shocking the numismatic world. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another story about the hidden treasures lying in your everyday pocket change.